Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know.
Just another lame Friday in the Berg. Nothing going on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 755 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Good morning. Welcome back. I'd like to welcome Finch back to the show this morning. He is making it happen. I see he's got the guns out today. He's not holding off nothing. We are at it. Big show today. Big arms today. Finch, how you doing this morning, brother? Oh, he's got the no mic going on.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was talking to Mike for a second.
Nah, I bumped the mute button.
You're good, man.
I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I got the 2 cups of coffee in, which means I'll be leaving to piss halfway through the show. I don't know if you guys heard, big Steeler news broke yesterday. I don't know if that was something to talk about, but I'm looking forward to maybe discussing that.
I thought maybe the Pirates could be the big topic today, guys. I don't know.
What? The Pirates?
Good morning, Michael. How you doing today, brother? Now, Mike has what is going on? I'm going to kill you guys.
I'm doing great.
What is going on? How can we manage this as often as we do?
You know what's funny? Like, I made sure the entire pre-show I had the mic on, and then the show started. I hit the mute
I have never
button
seen anything
because I
like
thought I
this.
was unmuting it. But hey, we're stumbling and bumbling our way through the intro like the Steelers stumbled and bumbled their way into Aaron Rodgers. It's an apt metaphor.
Well, I don't know if we should talk about Aaron Rodgers, if we should take microphone lessons today, but maybe, guys, I'll get the Post-its over the Post-it notes over the weekend. We'll start slapping them all over your microphones before the show. Right? Good morning, everybody. Good morning on the board. Good morning, Kenneth. Kenneth says, well, it happened, guys. Tortilla says, damn good day, gentlemen. Good day. What's going on, guys? Nice seeing you on the board. Welcome back to the show again, episode 755. A lot of things. Come on, guys. This is a big show day. I was chomping at the bit to get on this morning.
Oh man, I thought about you yesterday too when I saw the news, and I was like, oh man.
Yes.
I said Ryan's gonna have a lot to say in the morning.
We got a lot to go over today, guys. I'm gonna just give it a few, kind of let some people roll in here. But today, Mike is going to put up a poll. Let's now that we're waiting for some people to roll in. Finch, Mike, what do you think we should do as far as the poll goes? Maybe something along the lines of, what will the Steelers do now? We could either do are you satisfied with what happened? We could do something like that, or we could
What about just a good signing? Yes or no?
Good signing, yes or no? Or we could do something of what do you truly believe? Is it is this a Super Bowl season? People are already punching their tickets to the Super Bowl, which I think is absolutely insane. Get into that more just shortly. Is this a Super Bowl season? Is this a 10-win season? Is this a losing season? Mike, you could throw something together. Take a couple of those ideas. Tortilla, I did see the game last night. It was a great game. The Indiana Pacers pulls it off. They beat OKC 111-110. They go up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Game 2 is Sunday at 8 o'clock. The NHL Finals, they continue tonight, where the Panthers, they go back to Edmonton for Game 2, where the Oilers hold a 1-game lead, 1-0 on the Panthers, last year's Stanley Cup champions. Game 2 is today. That is at 8 o'clock, and they won't play Game 3 until the beginning of the next week. A couple more things before we do get into the big news, guys. Pittsburgh Passion back in action at home. They play the DC Divas. That's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Get up to Slippery Rock and support the gals. The Pittsburgh Passion, they are shooting for 5-0 with this win this weekend. They go to 5-0 with only 1 week left in their season, with only the Cincinnati Cougars. Finch, the Cougars is a perfect name for a women's football team. They'll go off to Cincy next week. But first and foremost, they got DC tomorrow. Make your way up to Slippery Rock and support the ladies. They deserve it. This is a damn good football team, the only winning football team right now in Pittsburgh, but we will see if that changes in this upcoming year. And I don't really want to get too deep in anything else, guys. I'm ready to get into Aaron Rodgers, of course. Everyone is chomping at the bit to talk about this. Boy, where do we even start? Finch, Mike. Okay, so we're signing Aaron Rodgers. They came to a agreement. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a 1-year deal. It's going to be under $20 million. Mr. Rodgers says that it is not. It has nothing to do with money. So again, guys, this is going to be our quarterback for the next year, providing he can make it past the first 8 plays of the series of the first game and not, tear Achilles. Who knows what's going to happen this year, guys. A lot of it's going to be an exciting season. One way or another, whether you support this move, whether you don't support the move, or whether you're just taking you along for the ride to see how it plays out, guys, this is going to be it's going to be a Steelers season like no other. I hesitate to even call it a Steelers season. I think this is going to be an Aaron Rodgers season. This is what the big storyline is going to be. I guess one of the good things we can take away from it is you're going to see our black and gold a lot this year. I expect. I do want to say that Mike did get a poll up, guys. So if you get a chance, get over to the poll. Mike's poll asks for their season predictions with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Your options are miss the playoffs, one and done in the playoffs, Super Bowl champions, or make playoffs and win a game. So there you go, guys. Get on that poll. Log in your votes. I can't wait to see what people have to say about this today. Jen on the board, she says, no.
Yeah, not only when I saw the news did I think of Ryan, I thought of Jen too. Like her reaction would be epic.
Yeah, man. No two ways about it, guys. So let's do this. Let's get into this. Mike, the Smithsonian and the Carnegie Museum got a hold of the Steelers and the Pirates and the Penguins and see if they wanted to put together a sports wing in the museums with all the relics and dinosaurs that the Pittsburgh Steelers are putting, the Pittsburgh sports teams are putting on the field. Andrew McCutcheon, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Eric Carlson, and now Aaron Rodgers and Cam Hayward is on the list, guys. We have our own branch. The Pittsburgh Sports has their own branch in the museum. That's coming up next year, guys. But on the serious side, again, yes, the big news is Gabe Davis did not walk out of Pittsburgh with a contract. No, that's not the big news, but that is news. That is
breaking news.
Sad news.
But again, that could change. When he made the decision, Aaron Rodgers wasn't a Steeler yet.
Yeah,
this might make some things happen. Again, I don't know what else is out there. I know Amari Cooper's out there, a few other big names, but again, it just remains to be seen because this should in fact get the wheels turning no matter which way you're expecting the wheels to turn. On social media, I'm seeing people punching their Super Bowl tickets. Again, across the board, the opinions are they're amazing. They really are. The negative, the positive, a whole lot of stuff, guys, a whole lot of opinions and people's feelings about Aaron Rodgers, again, coming to Pittsburgh on a 1-year deal to be the quarterback here. It's going to be interesting to say the least. There's no two ways about it. Aaron Rodgers will be in town next week, excuse me, for mandatory minicamp. Mark Malone says, woo, Super Bowl bound, baby. Did you buy your ticket yet, Mark Malone?
I'm happy Mark Malone is alive. That was one of the other things that Ryan and I were talking about off air, like people's reaction, guessing what their opinions would be. And we knew, Mark Malone, your ride or die with Mason Rudolph. I was worried about you, man. I was worried that you weren't going to make the show, that you're going to be depressed, that Mason wasn't going to start. But now I'm happy. I'm happy to see you here.
Depressed? You had Mark Malone on a chair with a noose around his neck a half hour ago. What are you talking about? Jeez, oh man.
I was worried about my guy.
I know you were. Good morning to 007. Good morning to Mark Malone. Good morning to Kenneth Jones. Kenneth is saying, glad Davis didn't sign. Of course, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen now? Yeah. Davis, he might have started texting on the way home on the airplane. Yeah, right. Once he heard the news that there is
his agent might have been texting him on the airplane.
Right.
Like, yo, listen, breaking news, They
got a quarterback in Pittsburgh. You might want to turn your ass around and get this done. But that all remains to be seen, guys. A lot of people are giving us a huge upgrade. Again, I mean, we have a overaged, a 42-year-old quarterback who may or may not still have it. We don't know. We haven't seen him play a down for the Steelers yet. A lot to be seen this season, guys. And again, this will be the storyline no matter where you go, who you talk to, no matter what in the NFL this year. I do want to say good morning, or yes, absolutely. Good morning to John as well. Big John Stud, middle name Mud on the board. Kenneth is saying we could do better than Davis. We're gonna get to all these messages in just a moment, guys. A couple of things that I want to know is Corliss Waitman, is he going to give up his number 8? People were saying, well, you know what? Johnston's back, but we generally hold 2 punters at least through the first 4 to 8 weeks of the season. How much is Corliss Waitman going to charge Aaron Rodgers for number 8? Or is Pittsburgh just going to abandon tradition and give Aaron Rodgers number 12? Why not, guys? Let's give him number 12, because not only the point that I made yesterday on social media was this, not only was this the only quarterback to beat Ben in the Super Bowl, the only one, they bring him here. And then this guy with about 1,200 yards this season in a Steeler uniform is going to pass Ben Roethlisberger for 5th all-time in passing yards in the NFL. So if you're a traditionalist, this probably doesn't sound great to you. But guys, there it is. We're letting him come in again. The guy that beat Ben in the Super Bowl, the guy that's going to take Ben's record. You might as well give him Terry's number. And Mike's going to make a point here about another 70s record. Go ahead, Mike. Tell us about this.
I was going to say maybe we can let him have number 7, since that one's not unofficially retired.
Hey, let's just give him number 7. Why not?
Give him number 7. Or I like what Tortilla's saying. Give him number 0.
What a gross suggestion.
Doubles. No, we don't let anyone wear number 1. Since Gary Anderson, I might maybe one other player, give Aaron Rodgers number 1, because he's number 1 in my heart. Number 1 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Aaron Rodgers, baby. Aaron Rodgers. He
says number 1 in your heart. What about this other Mike? This other record that's going to be broken this year?
Yeah, DK Metcalf. He's going to pass Lynn Swan's record, so maybe he can wear Swanee's number.
Well, my argument about that is it's a 50-year-old record.
Right.
People expect records to get broken eventually. And if DK Metcalf comes here and breaks Lynn Swan's record, you know what? I don't think that's a big thing. But again, Ben just come on, Ben's a career. He is the longest tenured Pittsburgh Steeler ever. Yeah. A career hometown, or a career hero for us here in Pittsburgh. Again, he walks away from the game. He let the guy come in, the only guy that beat him in the Super Bowl out of the 3 he faced. And he's going to pass Ben with about 1,200 yards this season. Pittsburgh Steeler uniform. I don't know if how Ben feels. I don't know, but I know that again, as a traditionalist, a Pittsburgh Steeler fan who loves the Steelers, top to bottom, from old to new, this might not sit well with you. But on the other hand, you have the more progressive side, guys. This is going to be a football team this year where we're going to actually resemble a football team. If in fact Aaron Rodgers, who is closer to 50 than 30, could come out there and continue to do what he's done throughout his whole career. Again, maybe getting him 15 years ago would have been a more ideal situation. He wasn't available. Matter of fact, he was so available this time around, 31 other teams apparently didn't want to go to a Super Bowl because they didn't chase Aaron Rodgers, as he sat and sat and sat and sat and sat on the shelf. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that seems to be making all the right moves lately, they pull Aaron Rodgers. Imagine a team that just gets rid of George Pickens because of distractions goes out immediately and brings in Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, what distractions has Aaron caused?
None. This guy,
none. That's erroneous news, slanderous news, libel news. Aaron Rodgers has been a perfect citizen his entire career. Never says anything wrong. Never goes on to podcasts and runs his mouth off. Aaron, I don't know where you guys.
He never goes on TV every day at 1 o'clock and on a TV show. And
never,
guys, this got disaster written all over it. But I'm along for the ride. And Mike, we even have a special song. We have a special song right here today. This is, guys. This is our special song to Aaron Rodgers. Again, you know that we do songs on the show. Derpy has a great song. Mike has a great song. Guys, have a moment. Take a moment, listen to the Aaron Rodgers song for the upcoming Pittsburgh Steelers football season. This is how I'm feeling right now.
It's a banger.
There you have it, everybody.
This is going to replace Renegade.
This is what.
This is the offensive
renegade.
Aaron Rodgers hears this song and goes, "F it, DK Metcalf's down there somewhere. I'm ripping it deep." And you know what? He throws a Hail Mary touchdown like he's back in Green Bay.
One of the issues I have with this is we basically are in the same position in ways because we did get rid of George Pickens a month ago. Yeah. Now we're in a similar situation to where, it's going to be somewhat more simple to defend the Pittsburgh Steelers offense because now you have one elite receiver to opposed to having two. Now it's not so much of the issue for the defense, how to cover all these guys. Now let's figure out how to get cover DK. And kind of go from there with the other receivers because again, I mean, Calvin Austin has been good to a point. Roman Wilson, they're seeing great things from him in the OTAs, but still, you don't really know what to expect from him without really playing yet. But guys, so much going on to talk about today. The big trade, basically, they should have just traded Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields at some point because here we are at the same exact position we're in last year. However, we have the Jets quarterback and the Jets have our quarterback.
Right.
So for people that are punching their Super Bowl tickets, you have to ask yourself, did we get good enough to compete with the teams that are really good in the NFL? Are we that much better now with Aaron Rodgers that we could expect to maybe beat the Bills in January or maybe go into Kansas City in January? A team that, again, if Justin Tucker doesn't miss 2 field goals and an extra point, we lose to the Ravens 3 times this year. So, a lot of questions still, guys. Let's get to the board, Mike. There's going to be a lot on the board today. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to leave anybody out. So much to talk about. I couldn't wait to get here. I'm glad to see everybody on the board. Good morning, everybody. If I haven't mentioned you yet, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to start right here with Mark Malone. He says, I'm making several future bets. Whatever that word is. What is that word? Malafalas. Malafalas. Okay, I get that. 007, Aaron Rodgers. Boo. Great seeing 007 back on the board as always. Jen says, my coworkers are sadly passing around the photo of me with Aaron Rodgers. They even put a cheese on my head or on my poor dog. Check out Discord or maybe Mike can show them. I did see the pictures. They are funny. And you know what? It's they're being passed around at Jen's office. I do feel bad, especially today on Aaron Rodgers Day. Tortilla says, as soon as Gabe Davis entered the Steelers facility, Rodgers called and told Gabe we don't want him. One thing that I do know is just this morning, the Pittsburgh Steelers were in contact with Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. This is not a joke. This is real. They contacted Kyle Pitts this morning. This team is destined. Mike, they have their mindset on becoming the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know why.
Right.
They brought in from the Atlanta Falcons over the past 2 to 3 seasons and the coach and everything else. The Atlanta Falcons are so great, Mike, in that NFC South, that we had to have some of that. We had to have bring more Atlanta Falcons to Pittsburgh because this team that made 2 Super Bowls, won both, is sitting like they're setting the ways here as we go after Kyle Pitts. Again, big story this morning, looking to bring in Kyle Pitts maybe. But I do know that Aaron's going to want more. I don't expect Aaron to not want anything else. I look for us to shop that other wide receiver position, especially with a couple of guys out there. You got Amari Cooper. You got some big names. So again, consider that as things that we may be running into. Mark Malone says, "Oh, I wondered Rodgers if he'd play." John says, "Acceptance is the last stage. We can do better than Davis," Kenneth Jones said. Right here, Tortilla says, "F it, let Rodgers wear number 0. You know, we could pull the ultimate asshole move and just tell him now. Be like, yeah, well, we changed our mind. That'd be the ultimate asshole move toward Aaron Rodgers.
Just pull the contract out from him.
Pull the contract out. Be like, you know
like,
what?
As he's ready to sign, Mason Rudolph hits him with the steel chair.
Right.
Starts cutting.
Oh my God. He killed him. Also on the board here, BSHAFE. They said, well, would have been incredible if we got him back in 22 when there was rumors before he signed the extension agreement. It would have been wonderful. We would have got him somewhere near his prime. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Tortilla says Rodgers will give Waitman some drugs and a ticket to Kennywood for number 8. Again, he is going to be trying to get number 8 or 12 or who knows. But Corliss Waitman, guys, he could make payday if he plays it right. Kenneth says a Steelers record is a Steelers record. Time on the team doesn't matter. But doesn't it feel cheap to you, Kenneth? You have, again, probably, arguably the best Pittsburgh Steeler that ever played. What he's done with his yards, and again, he's going to get passed here this season. But he's done more incredible things than guys on that 70s team. He has to be in the top rank tier of Pittsburgh Steelers all time. No two ways about it. And for that guy to get overtaken, let's say Aaron Rodgers comes here and breaks the record, and then we don't make the playoffs. It's just that it's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's an empty feel. It's like, well, we did all that for nothing, and he came here in our uniform and took the record away from a lifelong, again, one of the best, arguably, Pittsburgh Steelers ever. But again, that doesn't matter to some people. Some people it does. Will be something that you probably hear as time goes on. But a guy that comes for a season, it's already played his career, it's already on his way out. He's basically just working on him now. He comes here and gets his and then leaves. Again, it's going to leave. I think it's going to leave a taste in people's mouths. As their player that they followed for 2 decades and cheered and seen do many amazing things, get their numbers taken over by this situation. Again, I get it. Mark Malone says, I'm seriously going to pitch a new sandwich to Permanis, a turkey bacon and Swiss on rye with special mayonnaise. I'm calling it a rod gobbler. Finch, a rod gobbler.
Rod gobbler, I'd smash. I'd give that the discount.
We're gonna have to maybe that'll be on the Gooners tonight, talking about the rod.
Ooh, yeah, there's some bacon on there. Yeah, marble rye.
007. You need the Benny Hill music when Rodgers is getting flushed out of the pocket.
Got you, buddy. There it is.
Kenneth says, 2W Yinzers with that song, is Rodgers the clown or the ringmaster? Yeah, right.
Ooh,
that's a very good question.
That's a good call. Good call.
Jen says Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee Tuesday every week. Wish Tomlin was on Wednesday so we could ask him about Rodgers comments. Tomlin deserves that. Sucks they're the same day. Tortilla, that song plays in George Pickens' head at all time. Put that song behind the crash outs or highlights and it would go perfect either way. John said this was great for the media, but bad for the team. I tend to agree with John. John's a very wise man. For you on the board that don't know John or you at home, John is a very wise man beyond his years, and I agree with him on this for many reasons. We'll get into that more as we go. John said the Vegas odds shouldn't have or haven't moved. Vegas odds haven't moved. That should tell you something. Very interesting. Vegas is where the money is. That's usually where you see people that, again, these things tend to happen for certain reasons. John says Jen can get harassed, but I draw the line with dog abuse.
Like I said, that reminds me of a Community. I draw the line at racism. Or like I can what was it like? I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal abuse.
Yeah. Tortilla says we can't say Tallman is the only one making roster decisions. He may be the final say, but we keep getting Arthur Smith's guys, or our backup center was a Pat Meyer guy. Jen says, freak. Nobody puts Bruno, my baby, in the corner or a cheesehead. Kenneth says, but the record will happen anyway, and a Steeler jersey couldn't get any better. So there you go. Again, if you don't care about that kind of stuff, it's, whatever. But there are going to be people that, again, have been watching and supporting and investing time and money and a lot of things into this football team for decades that may have a different opinion than maybe somebody who may be a little bit more progressive, which, again, is there really a wrong answer? I don't know. It's going to be something that we're going to watch play out. This is not going to end. It starts today. And it's not going to end until the day we get eliminated from the playoffs, guys. This is going to go clear until January. I do think that they will be better. How much better? I don't know. It's again a lot of football between now and February, but we do know that Aaron Rodgers will be at minicamp next week. So it's going to be interesting, guys. What else do we got here? Ryan Clark says Aaron Rodgers signing worst case scenario for Steeler Nation. Worst case scenario for Steeler Nation. Ryan Clark, a guy that he knows some football. Again, about 1,200 yards, give or take, is what it's going to take for Aaron Rodgers to pass Ben for his all-time passing, fifth most. Listen, for that to even be said, to be the fifth best passer ever is where Ben gets undermined a lot.
Oh, yeah.
People say, does this guy deserve to be a first-time Hall of Famer? He has the fifth most passing yards ever. He should have got in earlier than his 5-year wait. They should have came to him in 2 years and said, Ben, let's go to Canton. You were the fifth best passer ever.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, not no more. We're letting the guy that's going to replace him, who's a rental, who's a diva, who's 42, and who a lot of people in Pittsburgh didn't care to even come here. We're going to watch him take Big Ben's record again. Some people fine with it. Some people are not. So again, a lot of things that we are going to see and come across as time goes on here. Mark Malone says, make those future bets, homies. Make those future bets. Tortilla says, if Rodgers gets a sandwich, it will be the chipped or the chopped cheese head. The chopped cheese head. John says, I think Vegas factored in Rodgers already being on the team before posting the odds. Hence, there was no movements. They hedged the forecast. Yeah. I mean, if I highly doubt it, but
good morning.
That makes us feel better. Hey, Derpy, good morning on the board. Kenneth says, Clark's my guy, but he's a flip-flopper. Mark Malone says 1,300 easy.
1,300 for DK. I'd take that. Take that in a heartbeat.
That's going to be tough. I got to be honest with you. I mean, again, if you had George Pickens opposite side, I think that really becomes a reality. But, if one of these other guys don't step up to be a Pickens-type guy, it's going to be difficult for DK Metcalf to get 1,300 yards. Again, a lot of the contested catches we're going to hope we see with DK. A lot to talk about. John says, thanks, Ryan. Just know I don't waste time at 61 and enjoy spending some time with you guys. And you know what, John? We love having you here as well, my friend. I always appreciate to see John here. 007. Mike is all wet over Rodgers.
Moist.
I see him back there. I see him back there rubbing his crutch against his table. It's thoroughly disgusting.
I'm just along for the ride. I'm just along for the Aaron Rodgers ride. It's going to be it's fun and entertaining. Sports are, and you add Aaron Rodgers to it, makes it more entertaining for me because it's going to be either great or bad. And I'm okay with either way. I'm going to be entertained either way, but I'm willing to see how it goes. I think we're probably going to be the same as we were last year.
Tortilla saying DK over 9,000 yards. Who wants
that's what I'm talking
about. Let's
keep
adding on. I want to see how high DK's numbers could get this year because, of course, Aaron Rodgers is coming to town. He's going to save the day. Everybody knows.
The other one, Finch.
Derpy, what are you doing?
Ruining the show.
Derpy's having a whole conversation behind the conversation.
He is, too.
I was asking.
I hate everything!
There we go.
What's going on, Derpy?
That's the one I wanted.
All right, CA3 is up for 1,500 yards. Guys, Kenneth Jones says, I don't know if he'll get a shot, but I got a feeling about Rock Taylor. From what I'm seeing, he could be number 2. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Rock Taylor.
He like I said, that first half of OTAs, he was either sick or a little banged up and didn't look really good. And that second half, apparently, he was feeling himself and he looked good out there. But, time will tell. It's hard to pencil in a undrafted rookie free agent as a starter. But, it happened last year with Beanie Bishop, the starting nickel corner. And, Willie Parker made the team out of training camp as the number 2 running back.
So there you go, guys. It's always a long shot with them type of guys, but again, what Mike is trying to say, in a low percentage, it does happen every now and then.
Yeah.
Jen says that's how I feel. Derpy, I hate everything. Tortilla says if he plays the Pornhub song before every snap like Renegade, we're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I can get behind that.
Oh man, guys, of course.
There we go.
It also, here's the one thing that gets me. A lot of people just assume that we're going to be, and I'm going to stop using Super Bowl contender because maybe that's a little bit crazy.
That's a harsh term, yes.
That's a harsh term. But people are saying that. So I do want to make sure that I hit on that, guys. But this is what people think. Like the old I Dream of Genie. Aaron Rodgers here. We're going all the way. Guys, again, Aaron Rodgers, even when he had good teams in Green Bay, was only able to win 1 Super Bowl in his career.
And that was the fluke of a Super Bowl.
And it was against us. So, I mean, do what you want with that. But, again, it's going to be interesting, guys. Most of the season, the storylines in Pittsburgh media, they love this, believe me. They don't have a creative gene in their body. They don't have a creative gene in their body, and they can't do anything besides talk about the same thing everybody else is talking about around town on every other channel ad nauseum. This is what goes on in Pittsburgh media. It's actually kind of gross, but this is it, guys. They hit the jackpot. Aaron Rodgers is the Pittsburgh media jackpot. They will all talk in circles and chase their tails for the next 10 months or however long it's going to be and talk about this because, again, they are very uncreative and very unoriginal and will not come up with anything that's interesting to talk about beyond that. But do what you want with that. Yeah, Finch, go ahead.
Mark Malone makes a nice comment here. He says, you guys can't think this will be the same as Bustin' Fields and Midget Wilson, which I love those nicknames. By the way.
I don't think it will be the same as them. Too.
No, but in a way, I kind of do. I think that it's very likely that we're going to have a mediocre finish to the season and go to the playoffs and lose the first game. I mean, it might not go the same way. Aaron might go and throw for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns to 10 interceptions and have a very solid year. And maybe stay healthy and still lose that first playoff game and put us right back where we are now. It would not shock me at all, Mark, if it does finish the same way.
And what's that going to do? It's going to put us right around 20 again in the draft. And again, in a year, you may want to have a little bit right in that state of mediocrity. And again, you might want to have a little bit of a head start trying to get a nice quarterback next year because, again, I mean, we got Aaron for a year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And we just got to hope that he can throw the ball around the way that we've seen him throw it around in the future.
Yeah. And
stay healthy. Again, I can't say this enough. He's closer to 50 than 30. Yes. 30 is an old age in pro football.
He's only 2 years removed from a very serious leg injury. It's hard to say what's going to happen there.
And absolutely. Guys, very interesting. And here's one thing that I always thought. He looks like such an idiot in his uniform. Why does his shoulder? But why does everything look so weird and small?
He looks like he looks like the Great Kazoo.
He looks like
he has a bit of a longer neck and a larger head at the end of that neck, and it sticks out of his uniform and the shoulder pads in a funny way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It makes him look
like a lemur.
in the green uniform of the Jets, he kind of looks like a weird turtle, like Yertle the turtle. Very Seussian.
Yeah, he does. He looked like a turtle with Ellen DeGeneres' face, is what I always thought whenever he was in Green Bay.
Ellen DeGeneres. Okay,
he does. He has Ellen's face.
Yes. Yeah.
Do what you want with that, but come on.
I hate
similar mustaches.
That stupid little chin strap that he has too. I hate that chin strap.
There's one
Aaron is a classy broad.
Oh yeah, he does. He has the 1930s chin strap. I forgot all about that.
There's one positive out of this, fellas.
What's that, Derpy?
I can promote my discount double witch now. For Permani Brothers. Remember a couple months ago when I said discount double witch if you signed?
No, but why does your voice sound so different?
Why do you sound like Mickey Mouse under a pillow?
Yeah, you don't even sound like you. Is this Derpy? Did you get this? Is this somebody else?
Yeah. Were you hacked?
I don't think this is Derpy.
This is my phone. This is not my what's it called?
I think this
is. Are you using a voice changer?
Is this somebody on the board playing? Are you messing with us?
Maybe.
Let's catch up, guys. We don't want to get too far behind on the messages today. A lot of messages coming through. John National.Mefia says something, and then the echo chamber starts throughout the social media platform. We are contending now, homies. Make your bets now. Those Packers teams sucked other than Rodgers. But did they really? They had some nice teams over the years.
They went to a few NFC Championship games.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of those
4 MVP seasons, right?
You know what?
Yeah, but he made a lot of those.
Lamar Jackson's winning all kind of Super Bowls with all of his MVP seasons too. Those guys got the MVP seasons under their belts. Just they don't seem to win a lot of Super Bowls for whatever reason. People were expecting the Tom Brady outcome, and the guy's not Tom Brady. He's not Tom Brady. The guy didn't win 6 Super Bowls. He didn't win 7 Super Bowls. The guy won 1 Super Bowl by 6 points 15 years ago.
And also, I don't think the Steelers are building the team in the way around Aaron in the way that the Buccaneers built their team around Tom Brady. You know, they went out and got Gronk for Christ's sake, and it worked out. I don't think the Steelers are making that same type of commitment.
And they had a really good team in place already down in Tampa.
They had a solid structure. They were 5 players away from winning.
They were too. They had a good line.
And how great is Aaron? If after 5 years after Ben leaves, he's still chasing Ben's numbers. Yes, Ben was one of the best. No two ways about it. One of the top 5, obviously, by the numbers. That's going to change this season because we are bringing in his replacement, not only as the quarterback, but also for his records. That's right. Ben is up. He's just about 1,200 yards. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers just 1,200 yards shy of Ben's 5th all-time passing yards is what he is. That's how good Ben was. Aaron is coming in about 1,200 yards. He's going to take that record in a Steeler uniform. It's going to be interesting as time plays out. Also, the Packers on the schedule. Also, the Jets on the schedule. Guys, this is not a Steeler season. This is going to be a Steeler season like you've never seen before. This is Aaron Rodgers season. If you can accept that, it's going to be fine.
It's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood now.
It's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He's also taking over Mr. Rogers in Pittsburgh. How do you like that, Pittsburghers? How do you like that?
Hurts, actually, yeah. I don't like
now we'll forget about Mr. Rogers to think about Ellen DeGeneres' face on stupid. Come on, guys. Aaron Rodgers next week will be here at mandatory minicamp. Mike, NFL Network played the Steelers-Packers Super Bowl yesterday after the decision's made. You don't think this is going to be a circus? Mike, why don't you hit the music and let everybody know what kind of season this is going to be in Pittsburgh?
Cue it.
So there you go, guys. Do what you want with that. But I do want to say things are looking good. Mike, we have the poll up on the board. If anybody, if you could get a moment, if you'd like to participate, go ahead and hit the poll. The question of the day is what kind of season is the Steelers going to have with Aaron Rodgers? Again, this thing is going to be over in February. This is a ride. The Aaron Rodgers experience is something like people in Pittsburgh have never experienced before. Guys, this is national. And we're not even winning. Usually when you win, you get all the media and the accolades. This season is going to be an Aaron Rodgers, full season of Aaron Rodgers. No two ways about it. You're going to hear nothing more than Aaron Rodgers, almost like Marsha from back in the day. If you guys recall the Brady Bunch.
I like how somebody said that Mason Rudolph is the biggest Jan in the NFL right now.
He's the biggest Jan. Mark Malone says he's only 41, but he will be 42 in the season. So let's get to some more messages here on the board. I seen one that said Finch is correct, and I just kept going past it.
Yeah, don't even read it. Yeah, that was from John too, so I must have earned it.
It was from
right,
John.
Right.
All right,
I saw that. Like my heart froze. I was like, "Oh, are we stroking out? The end is nigh."
Then after that, John does say, "One of my ass cheeks is over 30." Oh, that's true. That's true.
I like how just one.
If you paid attention to the messages, you would have understood with his age what he was trying to say.
I know what he meant.
No, you didn't. You thought he just had one ass cheek.
No.
He says just one.
No. Like, hey,
I'm trying to know what you're talking about.
Maybe he had a Brazilian butt lift that went bad. And
maybe
that's
what I was thinking. Probably what's happened. Mark Malone says, "Oh Lord, you homies in for a surprise. I'll be looking for those cases of beer." And you know what, Mark? Again, I want to win. I want to go all the way. And I want to drive cases of beer to Southwest Missouri for Mark Malone if that happens.
Road trip.
But I'm going to be realistic, guys. This has potential to be a disaster more than it has to be a Super Bowl winning season. We would have got catapulted pretty far with this 10 years ago, maybe. 42-year-old who got hurt on the first play of the game 2 seasons ago. I'm starting to question it again, guys. 42 and I keep saying it, closer to 50 than 30, and a 30-year-old is an old person in the NFL. He knows it. The thing is, he has it up here. He knows he knows what to look for. He knows how to play the game by way of knowing what he's doing. So that is it's positive. Let's jump back on the board. Rodgers has a Squidward head, John says. He does. He has a Squidward head with Ellen DeGeneres' face. Yeah, that. Mark Malone, I'd prefer to have at least one case of polygamy porter. Polygamy porter. You know what? I hope I'm bringing it. I hope that I'm coming to Missouri. I really do, Mark. I really hope that I do. Derpy put an AI on so he can watch ice skating. Derpy sounds like a Shriners commercial. He does sound like a Shriners commercial kid again. And I know you see the picture, the kid's face that I think of every time I think of that Shriners commercial. That same kid, he looks like he's 40, but he's like a 9-year-old kid who's got something wrong with him. I know you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. That's terrible.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Make me think of that and laugh. I feel terrible now.
Oh, boy. Tortilla says Aaron Rodgers doing his best Kurt Warner impression.
Ooh.
Mark Malone, it's one of the midgets. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. John says Rodgers should be listed as OC quarterback on the team. He probably, when it's all said and done, he probably will be.
Yeah, because what I was reading, apparently him and Arthur Smith have been in contact throughout the past couple weeks. So maybe that's why we're trying to get Jonnu Smith and what's his name, Kyle Pitts, Aaron Rodgers guys.
He's only 41. This team is built to win now. I hope you're right. And he says, I mean, right now, like yesterday. 007 saying a shit season. Finch is saying we'll be the most popular 9-7-1 team in the NFL.
Ooh, Finch going with the tie.
We're due for one. It's been like 5 years, right?
It's been a while, yeah.
They'll tie.
Get one every few years. We get one.
Tie Cleveland?
Either that or they'll tie the Justin Fields led Jets the first game of the season.
First 0-0 tie. It'll
be a 6-6 tie.
Let's see. The two dumb Yinzers, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my. And I know that Finch is co-host Tim over on the Gooners tonight. He's going to be interested to talk about this. Tim, what was Tim saying about this? Because he's a Bears
he was
fan.
blowing up my feed this morning. Hold on. His Facebook was excellent. Like, he was going on saying some wild stuff about it because he's a big Bears fan. He hates the Packers. He hates Aaron Rodgers. And let's see if we can maybe bring up what he said because it was pretty gold. I can't see.
A way to kill the momentum, Finch.
He says Steelers fans are applying chapstick to suck off Aaron Rodgers, who will most certainly fail and should have retired 2 years ago. I'm like, I cannot wait to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, guys. There's a lot that's going to be said. There's a lot that's going to happen, and you got to figure we're still about 92 days
in that range. Yeah,
we're about 92 days out still. So, the storylines they're going to add, they're going to build, they're going to add, they're going to build again. Mandatory minicamp next week, next month, guys. Camp up in Latrobe already next month.
Latrobe.
And this means we are not far off. Right after that, we got a few preseason, then it's into the season. We're there. We are there. We have a quarterback now. With that being said, guys, the positive on this for me personally, I feel that there is a load taking off our shoulders by this happening. Go ahead, Finch. Go ahead. Drop the load. Go ahead. I know you want to do it.
Dropping fucking loads.
But my thing is this. Now you feel a little bit more comfortable in the sense that you know what we're doing. You know who the quarterback is.
Yeah.
We don't have to have the quarterback controversy. We don't have to have a quarterback competition. You know what we're getting. And again, that's been an uneasy feel for this fan base for the past, several years probably. But certainly right now, it takes a load off your shoulders. And again, knowing that makes you feel a little bit better about this team. And then you can start expanding in other areas. Well, okay, now we got our quarterback. He's possibly capable of doing this, possibly capable of doing that. This is what we have around him. This is what our defense looks like. And you can start to visualize how you feel this season may or may not play out. In your opinion, just, how you feel that Aaron Rodgers is going to perform. But again, knowing what we know right now, I do feel a little bit better. I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm somewhat a traditionalist where I don't want to see Aaron come here and beat Ben's record. But on the other hand, guys, it's nice to know that we got our guy. He's pretty good, right? I mean, it's kind of diluted because it's hard to tell at 42. But guys, knowing the answer opposed to sitting around waiting and waiting for Brandon Ayuk like last year all the way into the season before we realized we weren't going to get him, there is a bit of closure with the decision that was made yesterday. So with that being said, and as I said, Mike, prior to this show, if Rodgers comes here, I will support him. He's my quarterback right now. And I hope we could do the best with that. And I want to win the Super Bowl, guys, as I want the Steelers to do every single year. But now is where it all plays out. We're going to see so much speculation, distractions, people say, all kind of stuff, Mike. And we're going to watch it all play out right now. And again, I hope we win more than we've won in the past. I hope that we win more games in the regular season. I hope that we could take our 10-3 record this year and not lose the last 4 games of the season.
Yeah.
I hope that, so those things, again, you would think our chances are a little bit better. And somebody mentioned on the board, you're right. Aaron Rodgers is head and shoulders better than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, head and shoulders taller.
And taller. And that actually plays a big part.
Plays a huge role. He can actually throw and see over the middle. So.
And again, I was watching the video the other night, Mike, of the Seattle and Green Bay NFC Championship game back when Green Bay beat us in the Super Bowl. And even back then, 15 years ago, Aaron Rodgers was just so much more fluent on the field than Russell Wilson. It was always a struggle with Russell Wilson because he was shorter.
Yep. He was running for his life a lot too. He ran Russell made a lot of his plays on the move, and he was really good at that. And it shows that with age, he was not able to do that quite as much anymore, and his game suffered because of it.
And real quick, I want to do a screen share here. I'm going to show Aaron Rodgers passing.
Mike, can I say one more thing just so I don't get
Go ahead.
And then I'll let you just jump right on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Russell Wilson's bad. I'm just saying from what I watched the other day, on NFL Network, Aaron Rodgers looked in that particular game head and shoulders better than Russell Wilson. He is just more fluent. Yeah. He gets out there, he recognizes, he can step back, just throw a ball right where it needs to be. Where Russell, things were more of a struggle to accomplish what he wants. Again, his size, different things played a role. And he was never a prolific passer like Aaron Rodgers. But I'm not saying Russell Wilson was bad. Somebody kind of came at me on the show yesterday. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in that particular game I was watching, he looked a lot better than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's going to the Hall of Fame. I do acknowledge that one day. So I just wanted to throw that out there, Mike, because I think Spice, she took it wrong yesterday, and I don't want to upset Spice.
No, she's awesome, especially once the season starts going.
Absolutely.
But here, real quick, just the passing chart for Aaron Rodgers here. Get us on the. You can see like middle of the field. He 10 to 20 yards. He's below average completion percentage wise, but in the middle of the field, line of scrimmage is the 10 yards above league average, 20 yards plus, well above league average. So the middle of the field is going to be attacked this year. And it's that intermediate 10 to 50 or 10 to 20 yard range. We might struggle there, but that 10 yard middle of the field and then the deep passes down the middle of the field are going to open up the offense more. And like I think someone said on the board, they're not going to be crowding the box because of this right here, of how efficient he is everywhere except that 10 to 20, and you can game plan around that. You can game plan guys open that way too. So yeah, the offense is going to look a whole hell of a lot different with Aaron Rodgers than it will with Russell Wilson.
And I think also, Mike, it's going to take a lot more effort out of Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson. If these guys could really open up the game to be able to utilize a big-time wide receiver like DK Metcalf, again, there's potential for this team to have some stuff going on here. So those guys, I want to see a lot, especially out of Roman Wilson. We're getting great news from him out of the OTA so far. I hope that continues through into minicamp next week. Let's jump back up on the board here, guys. Just so we don't get too far behind, we're going to go right here. Blah, blah. There we go. Tortilla. What did Mr. Rodgers say to Russell Wilson? Get the fuck out of my neighborhood is what he said. He booted that midget. He said, get out of here. I just want to say real quick an update, Mike, on the poll on the board. Season predictions with Rodgers as quarterback. 47% have them missing the playoffs. 47. See, this is why I say we have the smartest board. We honestly, truly do. We don't have all these homers jumping on and claiming their Super Bowl already. Mike, 47% at this day and time on June 6th, 2025. Mike coming in second with 33%. You were going to say we're going to do no better than we did last year. We're going to make the we're going to make the playoffs and win a game. Sorry, we are going to do better. Mike, 33% believe that we are going to win a game in the playoffs. Mike, one and done in the playoffs. That was what we did last year. 13%. That's the third and third place coming in the poll. And finally, only 7% are saying Super Bowl champions. And so there you go, guys. 47%. 47%, almost half of the people that participated in the poll has the Steelers missing the playoffs with everything that's going on right now. Guys, where are you? What side of the fence do you fall on, Finch? Are you more optimistic? Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you bummed? Are you mixed? Where are you with this? You're an average guy. You're an average Yinzer. How do you feel this morning?
I mean, I have mixed feelings. The drama is going to be something that I do not look forward to. It's going to bring tons of national coverage that, while nice to have national coverage and to see the Steelers on ESPN and whatnot, it's also going to be a lot of negative stuff. I don't like that. But there is that sense of relief that you mentioned earlier, especially for the players and the coaching staff, where it's just like, okay, now let's just build some game plans. You know what I mean? Let's sit down and talk X's and O's. We know what's going to happen. It's got to be a relief to Omar Khan. Now he knows, hey, this is the amount of money I'm going to spend on my quarterback this year, which I don't think they finalized the deal yet, right? I think that's going to happen today.
I saw somewhere it was like $10 million plus incentives.
So $10 million. That's a drop in the hat. That's got to be relieving to know that we can finally where our money is going to be going, where we can allocate funds elsewhere and find another good deal or two, maybe like we were talking about Davis before, that would have been a pretty good deal for the Steelers. Maybe we can offer him a couple bucks more to bring him here now that he has Aaron Rodgers. That could help us out in a way or two. So, I mean, I would say it's more relieving than anything. It's just good to know that we can get to these OTAs soon. We can get into training camp here in a month and know who is going to be at the quarterback position. And, I mean, he can play. The guy can play. Obviously, he showed at the end of the season he still has something in the tank. Hopefully that translates well this season, and hopefully he can stay healthy.
Yeah, Mike. What about you, man?
I'm a little more optimistic than I was because he still has the football IQ. He showed last year that he was getting better down the stretch. They do all that. The tracking of speed, how fast they scramble. He got faster as the season went along, so he still has some of that movability that he had in the past. He's not a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, but he's nimble enough in the pocket, so that's still good to see.
He can move with the pocket.
He can move with the pocket. He can still see see over the line, which is awesome. He still has great touch. How's that arm strength going to hold up now that you're getting older? We saw what happened with Ben once the arm strength started to go, that those deep balls weren't hitting.
Especially if he's throwing 40 or 50 passes a game. If the run game doesn't work out and he's got to get worn out, it could be a real issue.
Yeah. But I think the game plan is going to be, not be a traditional, just ground and pound team, but use that run game to set up the pass game. And so that he doesn't have that wear and tear on his throwing arm throughout the year. So I'm a little more excited than I was yesterday. I'm just going to see what happens because, if he can come in and play, put up similar numbers to what he did with the Jets. I know I said that last year with Russell Wilson, but, if he can do that, almost 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and play efficient offense, keep the offense on the field, that's going to help the defense, and that's going to help the team out, so much more down the stretch where that defense isn't going to be relied on game in, game out to win every single game.
And also, guys, another thing you got to consider, one thing that goes in our favor, this is the division that Aaron Rodgers played twice last year. We do get the AFC East. We get the Dolphins twice. Or we get the Dolphins where he had them twice. Yeah. We get New England, who he had them twice. So, this is a team that he did study for, somewhat recently. And also, we do have the NFC North, which, again, he's been removed from there for a few seasons. But, again, for a division that he's very familiar with. With the Bears, Packers, Vikings, Detroit. So, again, those kind of things just up here could certainly play a role. Let's get back on the board, Mike. Of course, the messages keep coming through.
Oh, they're flying in.
Let's go right here and say, hasn't Rodgers got those yards in far less seasons? He didn't even get the start till 2008, which puts him 4 years behind Ben, which puts his retirement 4 years behind Ben, which puts them basically at the same amount of time right now. So as he takes Ben's numbers, he's basically at the same amount of time that Ben played. So it's all going to be pretty close. Mark Malone also says we're starting 6-0. We'll pull out the schedule next week and we'll try to get a good feel on how we feel the season's going to play out. Mark Malone says, crap, I was in insane shape at 41. Finch, you're about that age.
I am that age.
Let's see them guns, man. Finch brought the guns today. There we go. John says if Rodgers was still in his prime and could win a Super Bowl, he wouldn't be signing with the Steelers this week after being shit canned for Fields. Interesting. Mark Malone, this isn't midget Wilson, folks. No, you're right. It's definitely not midget Wilson. There's no two ways about that. One of Aaron's kids hosts a podcast with Finch. That's crazy. John says the players are probably relieved. Again, there's definitely a relief in the air. Whether you agree with this, whether you like it, whether you don't, there's definitely relief in the air today. I know who the quarterback is. And it's somebody that's I hope plays better than Mason Rudolph. So that was the other option. So we'll see, guys. Mark Malone, it's going to be hilarious hearing people about we're blowing teams out or after hearing people after we're blowing teams out. Yeah. We're going to blow somebody out, I bet. We blew out the Giants last year, right? John says Rodgers is running out of excuses and his drama doesn't have the impact it did. He better come out hot because over 50% of the fan base doesn't want him. It's going to be interesting on Sundays. he comes out and throws 3 touchdowns, or he comes out and throws a couple interceptions, maybe drops, gets the ball stripped out of a fumble at the end of a game, cost us. Who knows? Who knows? The season is not going to be short of excitement, to say the least. John says Rodgers was 5th with the shortest pass time, and fifth from last with passing attempt distance. He's a quick hitter now, just like how Ben played at the end. If the O-line is weak, he will check down. I am done with the check down. I want to see a guy throw the ball over the damn middle of the field already. It's been way too long. In the NFL, we haven't had a quarterback that can throw over the middle for how long?
12 yards over the middle. That's all we're asking.
It's embarrassing.
That's all we want.
Again, yeah. Mark Malone saying he's laying down serious cash. He also follows that up by saying we took absolute anal reaming in the playoffs. I think I think he makes the game a little bit better, but again, there's a lot of other issues that we talk about all the other times, and I think some of those other issues, they got to be dealt with before things start getting better, and it starts at the top. Tortilla says Percocet. Rodgers thinks the fans are paid actors. He don't care, right?
You don't know what's going on.
Mark Malone, he's eating the hippie shrooms, gentlemen. His elbow isn't toasted.
His shrooms are toasted.
Mark Malone, they had Ben on a pitch count by necessity because his elbow was near toast for several years before it let loose completely. And Ben was younger. Yeah, younger than Aaron Rodgers at this point, wasn't he?
He retired at 38, right?
Yeah, this guy's going to be 42. John says Rodgers' stats from the past year are a lot of empty calories. I remember when many said Wilson just had to have the same numbers as he did in Denver, and the team would be okay. Boy, was that I remember that argument right here on the show.
What dumbass would say that?
I don't know, Mike.
What bald dumbass would say that?
I can't even imagine.
I can't imagine either.
Mark is saying 5 years, 4. So there you go, guys. Big news today. Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh Steeler. It's happening. It's really, truly happening. Mike, how many wins does this team finish with this year?
I still had us before at 10 or 11 wins in that range.
Finch?
Total 9. Wins. 9.
Without hesitation, 9, huh?
It's just going to be a mediocre 9-win, 7th place in the AFC. Just squeak by, get into the playoffs, first round, lose.
What do you think this team does in the division? We split in the division last year. You got to remember they were interesting games. The snow globe game against Cleveland.
Yeah, remember we had 5 chances in a row to seal the division. Remember that?
Yeah, we had a decision. We had a chance for the number 1 seed, and we let it fall
with like 4 weeks left or something. It was late in the season. Yeah.
We were 4 games left in the season. Had a chance for the number 1 seed, and we were nowhere even close after 4 weeks of that happening. We did the total opposite of what we needed to do.
Yep, that's what happened.
So again, I think sometimes, again, there will be an improvement, I do think, but I think again, there's still internally there's issues. There's issues with the Steeler team because we've had nice teams in the past with many great players, killer bees. I think that team was probably one of the best Steeler teams ever offensively. And internal issues tend to seem to be the issue of the decade here for the Steelers. Mark Malone has us going 15-2. Tortilla.
Mark, are you dipping into Aaron's mushrooms with that comment, or
Tortilla? He's going 12-5.
That's a little more reasonable, but yeah.
Mark Malone says, "I'm just stoked that we are actually going to have an offense again," and that's what I'm saying too. I mean, that's refreshing. We hope.
Our offense won't be offensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Guys on the board, what do you guys think? John says 2020 was a smoke and mirrors. It was it finally showed. I mean, yeah, nothing has been great for this team for quite some time. Let's be serious. Let's be honest. When was the last time you were really excited about what the Steelers team had going on? Mark's saying 15. I don't know where Derpy went. Now it's time for Derpy to talk, and he's nowhere to be found.
I know, right?
When everybody else was talking in mid-conversation, he went and carry on a whole conversation.
Play it, Finch. Play it. Play it, Finch. Play it.
I hate everything!
Play it, Finch. Play it.
Yeah, play it, Finch. Boom. Finch, play it. You're going to play that thing. We're talking about two different things right now, and they're talking about Aaron Rodgers, but can you talk about me? Can you hit my button?
Check me out on Twitch.
I hate everything.
Call of Duty.
I'm playing Call of Duty right now on Twitch. Come check me out.
I hate everything!
Turkey's new theme song.
Tortilla.
That should be Derpy's new theme song right there.
Oh, poor Derpy.
Tortilla says Aaron Rodgers is 3-1 against the Ravens, 3-0 against the Browns, 2-2 against the Bengals. And he's saying, I believe we're going to go 4-2 in the division because of this. You know what? It's
I still have this kind of like split between like a 3-3. We're going to win one game against every team.
As we did last year. We won
it's
more
going to
than
happen. Then it's good. Then it's going to depend, later in the season how we're performing.
And I think John hits a pretty good one on the head here. He says, I think that it's the offensive line will determine how great the offense will be, not Rodgers. That's going to play a huge part.
Yeah.
I mean, is the running game going to be able to the offensive line is huge.
Yeah.
The offensive line, if you're going to be able to pass, you need the run game. If you're going to be able to run, you're going to need the pass game, and that all consists of the line protecting and blocking and opening holes and making things happen. And again, Mike, with this young line, this is expected to be the Steelers line for a very long time.
Yeah.
So if we could get that jump by Broderick Jones, almost like we're waiting for Broderick Jones to get over his sophomore season. You run that sophomore wall.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping that's what it was with him. It's a little sophomore slump with him, because if that's the case and he's more comfortable being back on the left side, this line can take a quantum leap forward. This was the year McCormick was supposed to start. They knew they weren't going to be able to keep James Daniels. They penciled him in as being gone. McCormick was drafted to be that replacement, so he already got his year under him. He already got that rookie year in. He was able to play, so we don't have to worry about. We have to worry about him, but he's not coming in as a wide-eyed first-year starter now. Now he has more or less a whole year of experience under his belt. Frazier's already talked about as a top 3 center in the NFL, and if he just keeps playing the way he does, that's going to be awesome there. Now it's just your two captains.
That's a bit of a stretch, but I've seen that as well.
Yeah,
top 3 is pretty damn good, and tough to say that
after 5. I can say top
after
5.
Having a rookie season, I think you got to give him a little bit longer than that to decide that. It's tough to tell for us.
Yeah. It is funny, the two guys rated ahead of him, Creed Humphreys and Limbaugh, those are the 2 centers like Steeler fans wanted the Steelers to draft.
Or look at all the other teams that are good. They have good centers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Without a good offensive line, you're not good. Go around the horn. Every team, Detroit, Baltimore, they all got good centers. That's what I'm saying. It's tough to give this guy 3 after one season of not a great season by his team. Yeah. But anyway, that's really beside the point. Yeah. Nobody wants to even talk about that today. But Derpy is the Twin Peaks midget, apparently, is what John is saying on the board. The Twin Peaks midget.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Then the need of a Jones awakening. Yes, and what's the defense? What's this going to do for the defense? The fact that we're not going to be, hopefully, not hitting the 3 and out as much.
Yeah.
3 and out was a big issue, guys. And, it doesn't allow the defense much time to rest. And we're all saying, why is TJ Watt on the air, on the sideline, sucking air in the 4th quarter? Well, the guy played a lot. And Cam, and again, these guys aren't young. So if the older gentlemen on the team all share time, it should work out. And let the defense get off the field every once in a while.
Yeah. And that's what they need. They don't need to be out there as much as they are. And hopefully, with Rodgers, even if he just plays, nice ball control offense, efficient passing, I'll take that. Just keep drives alive, keep them going, and let those guys get rest in. Yeah, here's a Derpy. We got breaking footage of what Derpy looks like.
Make that bigger. That looks like the kid on the Shriners commercial.
This is perfect. That's gonna be. I gotta send that to him and make that like Derpy. That's your avatar for the show. But
See, now Derpy pisses me off. I'm pissed off about Derpy. That's what I want to be pissed off about all weekend. I got to be pissed off about him all weekend now.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him all week. Then he pops in and starts over-talking over everybody.
With a weird voice.
With a weird...
Right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure that was Derpy.
I think it was one of his midgets. That's what the...
I think Trump just tweeted out that was a Derpy clone, actually. And that was not really Derpy, everybody. It was in his tweet. It was official. But, guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers do have a quarterback.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers in the poll, says 44% of the people voting says the Steelers will miss the playoffs. Next, 31% of the poll says the Steelers will make the playoffs and win a game, which was the goal prior to this year. If you could have made that happen anytime, I mean, if you're going to bring in an all-time, 4-time MVP, I think up the ante a little bit on this.
Yeah.
You can't expect just a playoff win. I mean, that's just doing a little bit better than the garbage we've been putting out on the field for 5 years. Next on the list, one and done in the playoffs. We've been doing every year. That's 19%, 1 out of every 5 people. And then finally, Super Bowl champions. So there is somebody with the optimism out there. I'm going to go out on a limb and say,
I have a guess too.
But the poll does have 6%. 6% of the voters did say that the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Again, I don't know whether to take that facetiously or if that's a serious. But again, there are people that do think that, Mike, it's going to be magic.
Yeah, you know what? This is why
it's just going to work now. It's just going to work now. Not all the hard work that all these other teams put into it, and the talent and the GMs and everything. Like this, we're Super Bowl champions, guys.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. This is
why didn't we think of this years ago?
Right? Exactly, but this is why sports is fun. You know, if you can't get excited for your team in the offseason and have a little fun and suspend some disbelief in sports, you know, it's entertainment. It's fun. I'm here for it.
It's gonna give you something to talk about for the next year. No two ways about it.
Exactly.
I tell you what, it'll make the time to the draft go a little bit faster. How about that?
Exactly. It's gonna be, God, Steelers are gonna dominate the news cycle all season long in the NFL.
Mark Malone says, "Oh man, the defense is gonna be chilling. Probably adding a little vodka to the Gatorade."
Bad idea.
Hey, by the way,
you never know. They might play better drunk. You don't know until you try, Finch.
Well, I did tackle Finch one time when we were drinking. Do you remember this, Finch? You might not remember it. We were at Dinkers.
Okay.
I tackled you. We were drinking all night, and I tackled you in a big pile of crab apples or whatever them things are that has the little spikes all over them.
Oh, the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, they didn't come out of the shell yet.
I had about 600 of them stuck in my left arm for months.
Yeah, I definitely remember falling into a bunch of Buckeyes once at his house, and that's probably what it was. Yeah,
that's definitely what it was.
Because my arm picking spines out for like 3 days.
Yes, and I remember my left arm was underneath you when we landed, and that's where they got me, man. And I picked them out for months and months. But I tell you what, I made a pretty good tackle. Oh, I stuck him. It was a good tackle, actually.
I'm sure you did, yeah.
And
I believe it, especially if I was drinking.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Like a ton of bricks.
You did. You went down. I brought the Lamar Woodley that day.
Good thing he didn't bring the James Harrison that day. We would not be talking to Finch right now.
Tortilla Jackson says Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers are going to have a Trump and Elon relationship. Start off strong, but 15 weeks into it, they're going to be beefing on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
Yesterday on Twitter was a great day. You had that beef going on. Then you had Aaron Rodgers going on. It was great. It was
absolutely great. A lot of crazy times.
It was just great. I'm just sitting there scrolling through my phone after waking up from a nap, like, what the hell just happened?
No two ways about it, man. Go ahead and get your vote in, everybody. We do have the poll up on the board. How do you think that the season will play out with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback? Your options are miss the playoffs, make the playoffs with a win, one and done in the playoffs, or as Super Bowl champions. Mike, the percentage on that actually went down as more votes came in. Only 5% right now at Super Bowl champions for these Steelers in this upcoming season. Again, a very, very eventful. If you're a Steeler fan, you have from now until February of Aaron Rodgers, nothing but Aaron Rodgers. Turn on any sports channel again. This is all you're going to be hearing about for months and months and months. So at least if we're not going to win, they're still going to be talking about us. And then it's draft time. So it's going to be draft time right here in Pittsburgh. big times, great times ahead for Steelers fans. Let's jump back on the board. Chad, welcome on the board. Good afternoon to you, sir. He says it's about time Rodgers dug his head out of his ass. Vegas, what's up, brother? Vegas says one rich man jelly of an even richer man. Oh, must be about the tweets, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Took me a second.
John says, I cringed more when I heard the Rodgers news last night than I did during my digital exam at the urologist today. He played basketball in college.
Your urologist was a basketball player? Cool.
Ralph, what's up, brother? He says, hello, guys. We will see how Rodgers and the Steelers work out. And always great seeing Ralph on the board. Going to be very interesting. It'll be a very eventful second half to this season or this year, and then into next year, of course. I don't know what to make of it, guys. We're going to talk and try to figure this out. But, guys, there's no way of knowing how this is going to turn out. There's a lot of speculation. A lot of people think it's going to go really well. Other people think it's going to go really bad. Some people, they're not quite sure. They're just waiting it out and going to see what's going to go down this year. But, again, maybe with the draft picks, maybe the team that's been being built here over the past few years, maybe these extra signings, bringing in Slay at the DB position, a young Caleb Johnson in the backfield. Maybe there is reason for people to get excited about this football team. Ralph says Antonio Brown, George Pickens, Deontay, and others. We will see where this ego of Rodgers goes. We never had those people under center. So that's why this is going to be interesting. We know how those people played out on this team. It didn't go well. They had all the talent in the world. Antonio Brown, come on. All the talent in the world. George Pickens, Deontay. But when you have a head case, it doesn't go like things normally would go in football and in the NFL. So interesting. Also, guys, AB.
McDonald's?
AB is saying...
Sorry about that.
Let me get to. I want to pull up this, guys. This is from AB. He was contacted apparently back in February by Aaron Rodgers. Just one moment, I'll be able to pull this up. Here it is. Let's see. Apparently, back in February, Aaron Rodgers asked AB if he would be interested in playing football in Pittsburgh. This is what AB is saying, at least.
Yeah,
36-year-old future Hall of Famer did say that Aaron Rodgers did contact him. Guys, now this is kind of a long shot, but in this season where you're kind of throwing it out there and seeing what happens, you bring in Aaron Rodgers. Would you guys even consider bringing Antonio Brown on this offense?
No.
Well, here's my thing. Why not at this point? It's already progressive, balls to the wall. Forget traditional. Who cares? Let's give him a number 12 to wear under center because, that's what it's all about. It's not about records. It's about championships. Why not bring Antonio Brown in, guys? This would be the total sellout move that you would need to make to say that, you know what, we're all in. We're selling out. We're giving everything. We're taking everything that we can get. We're going to win the championship this year. Why not this year, guys? Why would we be so against that if we're so for everything else?
AB has not played a down of football since 2021. He's
still in playing shape. Still in playing shape. Mike, I got to admit, the guy's he's a hard worker. I don't doubt that he wouldn't be in shape. And how hard would it be for him to come in and just be at least a little better than average? He doesn't even have to be great. He doesn't even have to be the Antonio Brown of 10 years ago. He just has to be a little better than average. And I think he draws enough attention by the defense that it changes the dynamic of the game. And if he doesn't draw that attention, he takes advantage takes advantage. Don't cover me. Don't double cover me. Play me like a regular guy. See what happens.
I'm good on the AB.
Interesting. Very interesting on that. Let's jump back on the board though, guys. John says over under on what week fans like the Jets fans catch on. Over under on what week fans like the Jets fans catch on. Some would argue Rodgers had a better supporting cast in New York. I would agree. New York's a bigger, more progressive geographic. I mean, it's, everything is acceptable in New York. Pittsburgh's more of a tight-knit, traditional kind of place. So it's going to be interesting, guys. I think that he would fit in more in New York. Absolutely. Tortilla says AB will be on his deathbed talking Steelers should sign me, and I still got it. Mark Malone, I've gone into my future telling trance. Good things are coming, gentlemen, I'm telling you. John says with AB, all they will need is an elephant man and a bearded lady to complete the circus. Mike, why don't you...
oh, I got it.
We already have that, John. We call it a derpy. He is the bearded elephant man.
All right.
Derpy is the bearded lady.
But Derpy is the bearded lady. Yeah, Derpy. Derpy. He's got those 3 chin hairs. I could see it. I could just picture him. He'd be the guy that would have those 3 long ass chin hairs that he will not trim because that's his beard.
That's his beard, man. He's making them look good.
Tortilla, there's videos on the internet of Shiloh Sanders locking AB up. I'm sure AB can still play, but if Shiloh is locking you up at any distant DB, I don't know, guys. Again, I would be more comfortable with AB's talents than I would be Aaron Rodgers. I got to be honest with you. He's the guy's athletic at least. Aaron Rodgers is built like me. Martavius Bryant is available. Vegas, what's up, Vegas? Corey says, hey guys, I'm so glad the will he won't he is over with AR, but why are people talking like it's Super Bowl or bust when we can't even get past the wild card round? It's this, not hard work. Hard work and building the right team has nothing to do with it, Corey. This is what we expect right now. Aaron Rodgers is here. We're bringing home the Lombardi. That's the mindset. This is how far removed we are from being a competitive team. This is what people think is going to win a Super Bowl, apparently. LOL, walk before you try to run. Absolutely, Corey. Always great seeing you on the board, brother. Hope everything's going well for you. John says, my point is that 2 years ago, the Jets fans had the Rodgers hope the nation has now. Yeah, I agree. They thought great things were coming. They thought this. But guess what? At the end of the day, they were still the Jets, weren't they? Mark Malone, I bet AB is way out of shape. I'm reading that he is in tip-top shape, but again, that's just what I'm reading. Mark Malone probably has tennis elbow from stroking into the pool. Let's do, Mike, I got to talk about a few other things. We'll come back around.
Shit.
We'll complete a perfect circle. Come back around to Aaron. Pirates, they do start a new series this tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies are in town. Former Philly on the hill, Bailey Falter. He's going to be taking on Joe Ross. Falter, now get this. Mitch Keller's like 1-8. Bailey Falter's 4-3.
Who would have seen that coming?
4-3 with a 3.14, 41 strikeouts over the weekend. We'll also see Haney and Paul Skeens. Skeens will be pitching on Sunday as the Pirates wrap up the series with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds are taking on Detroit City FC tomorrow. That's a Saturday game at 7 o'clock p.m. While the Riveters finished their game against Erie Sports Center yesterday in a tie. But they're back at it on Sunday, Mike. These gals, they play. There's no sitting around for the women's soccer team in their inaugural season. The Pittsburgh Riveters, they will be taking on Buffalo Sunday at 5 o'clock. Back to the American Football League. I'm sorry, Mike. UFL has the playoffs this weekend, and this is to decide who plays in the UFL championship. Mike, in the UFL side of the bracket, which is also known as the Western Conference Finals, Michigan takes on Birmingham Sunday at 3 o'clock, and then on Sunday at 6 o'clock in the Eastern Conference, which is the XFL Conference, DC Defenders take on the St. Louis Battlehawks at 6 o'clock, Mike, and the winners of both of these games will go on the following week to play in the championship at St. Louis. That was a designated place for the championship. Yeah. So winners, Mike, out of Birmingham, Michigan, and then DC, St. Louis. I know you like DC. I'm sticking with my DC. Birmingham on this. Finch, you want a horse in this race? Michigan,
I like DC.
Birmingham? You like DC as well?
I like DC to win it all, and I guess Michigan.
Okay. And then the championship is on the 14th of June. That's next weekend, guys. And then also tonight, the NHL back in Game 2 in the Stanley Cup Finals, where the Oilers have a 1-0 lead They win in overtime in game 1 to get that lead. Game 2 is tonight at 8 o'clock, and the NBA will be back at it on Sunday. And that'll be the finals games through the weekend. So let's get back, guys. Let's talk a little bit about Aaron Rodgers. Mike, you see, you pay a lot of attention to social media. You like to know what Steelers are thinking, and what is your take so far? What kind of feedback? What are you seeing from Steeler fans? What's some of the crazier things you're seeing? What's some of the more knowledgeable things? Maybe something that might have struck you and said, "Wow, that really makes a lot of sense." Mike, you're a social media guy. What have you been seeing, man?
I've been seeing all the way from the I'm never watching the Steelers again, all the way to we're going to the Super Bowl. And then other people trying to figure out, like, breaking down the stats, other breaking down the how the offense is going to come together, to, hey, we got AR now, let's go out and get Jonnu Smith or Kyle Pitts. And then, Terry McLaurin, walked out of OTAs because he doesn't have a new contract yet. We're going to trade for him now. So it is all over the place. But the worst I've seen is I'm no longer watching the Steelers. Like, I don't like Aaron Rodgers at all, but I'm still going to watch him. Yeah. Sometimes you got to separate the art from the artist, or whatever, the person from the artist, player from the whatever. I just want to watch football. I may think he's a dumbass. I may make comments about him, but as long as he's putting up points for my team, I don't. Whatever, I'll watch him play. But it's all the way from Super Bowl or bust to worst thing ever to one of the worst signings is, I saw a couple of people saying it's going to set the team back. I don't think it's set the team back.
I think if it does set the team back, it's going to be an internal issue. It's going to be things that maybe he just says something the wrong way that puts his offensive line at a certain. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be an interesting season. Yeah, and like you and I were talking off air, like players are going to be able to see, okay, this is how Aaron Rodgers, operates, how a Hall of Famer, a Super Bowl winning quarterback operates. We saw it with Russ. Let's see it with him. Find similarities. Find differences.
So we're going to bring in
stuff that you can use.
Are we going to bring in every over the hill?
Hell yeah,
former
baby.
Super Bowl
until we get our
quarterback.
Guy.
Until we bring our, that's an interesting strategy that nobody's ever used.
Yeah.
And
then now people are crying like, oh no, if we get him, we're not going to draft a quarterback of the future.
Why wouldn't you?
We have 12 picks next year. We're drafting a quarterback in round 1.
Or you know what? It might raise questions, Mike. Because yes, absolutely. We'll deal with those questions as they come.
Deal with it in the future, but that's just what a lot of people are saying on the old Twitter or X or whatever it's called today.
Let's go back to right here. I'm gonna go right here and okay, Tortilla. The Jets are the Jets. I'm still not sure if they are real or not. Could just be the Browns and green. The Jets they got players. I mean, Garrett Wilson. I mean, listen. The Jets aren't as bad as people are making them out to be. That's a nice little team with a bunch of high draft picks. Sauce Gardner on defense. I mean, they got a nice squad again. Yeah. People are just assuming that the Jets are just terrible, but they have players that could have certainly helped out the Aaron Rodgers experience. No two ways about it.
Yeah, and he got their coach fired last year.
Yeah, he got their coach fired last year.
The way he operated there last year compared to the way he's talking now coming into Pittsburgh, it's two totally different.
Wait, what's he talking about coming into Pittsburgh? I have no.
He hasn't said anything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like when he went to the Jets,
wait till he starts talking, Mike. I mean,
we need this guy. I know
he's not on the team yet. He has. Wait till he signs.
Yeah,
as soon as
and that's going to be interesting to see if things are going to start heating up for certain players that he likes. But it's going to be interesting because so far we haven't heard any of that from him. Like if I go somewhere, these are the players I like, or mentioning names.
He starts opening his mouth. The fact of the matter is he hasn't opened his mouth yet, and I don't think we could base too many opinions off of that because I want to see what he has to say. Vegas says it hailed here yesterday. It sounded like there was a roofer doing work. I was shocked to see hail on the ground when I opened the door. I like a nice hailstorm. I do. It's comforting. It's comfortable if you're inside.
I like the rock band. I like the rock band Hailstorm. You ever seen that?
Oh,
their lead singer, Lizzie Hale.
Yes.
Oh, she hot and a great voice.
John says teams can't put their potato players in bubble wrap anymore, and the national and social media would be relentless baiting AB for drama, and the team couldn't shield it.
And he'd run headfirst into the drama.
Listen, I don't think it's a good idea. I think that it would just Aaron Rodgers.
Perfect.
The town is not big enough for Aaron Rodgers and Antonio Brown. It's just not. It's not. If you had both of them talents on the same team, maybe on the field you could get production, but I got to be honest with you, those two people in the same building, let alone in the same town, jeez, oh man. Let's go right here. Corey says, I know I'm late, so if you talked about TJ Watt already, I apologize. I'm calling it now. He'll be traded or extended before the end of the next week. Interesting take.
I'm waiting. He's going to be extended.
I think he'll be extended as well.
Yeah.
Vegas, me too. John says, Caleb, what's up, brother? He says, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is cool, but my favorite McAfee guest is Halliburton. Hope everything's going well with you, Caleb. Always great seeing you, sir. John said, Vegas, I was told Blondie's is a bar where Steelers fans go. Have you been there? Vegas asked, do we have a Pittsburgh, a pro lacrosse team in Pittsburgh? We don't at the time. We used to.
We used to back in the day.
I went as a kid, and I went to a Pittsburgh Bulls game. They were the Gates brothers. That was back in the early 90s. That was the guys in pro lacrosse. Their last name was Gates. There was two of them. And I seen the Pittsburgh Bulls play. It was pretty cool. Different. I didn't really know what it was in that particular time, but looking back, it was a pretty cool experience. John says, I will bitch, but never give up support. That is being a bitch. Hey, you're right, man. I agree. Vegas, John, no, we do have a Steelers chapter of Steel Pride. One of them left their card on my car when I was up at the Suncoast. John, they meet at a place. It's 1281. Okay, so that's cool. These guys ought to get together. That'd be pretty sick. John says we could schedule a meeting if you want when the season starts. Oh, that'd be cool, guys.
Ryan, you could head out there.
I do. I want to go. I want to go to Vegas.
Pick up Mark Malone on the way.
I'll pick Mark up in Missouri. Me, him, and Derpy will get loaded on the ride down.
make Derpy drive.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how he already sees things and makes decisions. So I want him on the highway. Boy,
Derpy, I think he has like the tactical awareness of a chipmunk.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Pacers won game 1, and I'm going to game 3 and 4 in person. That's awesome. Congratulations. I was talking on the show this week that the Pacers are my team. I'm pulling for them. I went to Pacers in basketball, and then I went the Oilers in hockey. So those are my picks.
The Pacers led that game for 0.3 seconds.
Yes, they did. But hey, a win is a win is a win is a win.
That is insane.
Life is great. Absolutely, man. Work schedule has been messed up, but I've been waking up at noon. I get you, man. Vegas, we could try, but I work most of the Sunday. That's gotta be cool if these two guys are able to hook up, man.
Yeah.
All right. Corey says it makes more sense to extend Watt. They can open up like $28 million in cap space by backloading a new contract. I think that number is right. Make this year signing bonus.
Yeah, because they have like so much cash on hand they have to spend this year too. And shit, they're gonna have a lot of money going into next year too. So these 2 years are huge.
And I like the next comment. It says, I have a guest room. The new Durango Resort is a halfway for spillover. I will take all except Finch. Except for Finch.
Damn, he's taking Finch and he's taking Derpy and not Finch.
Yeah, you have to put newspapers down when Derpy's around. So I don't know, but Finch, yeah, it's kind of a toss up. But guys. No, there we go. Finch says in response, he says he just doesn't want me bringing all those chicks over to his house and causing trouble. And when I see them guns, Finch, that was my first thought, to be honest with you. When I seen the guns, it was all that chicks is all I thought about when I seen those arms today. Guys, the poll as of right now, 38% of the people that participated in the poll has the Steelers missing the playoffs, which is the most. It's the highest on the poll. Second is 33% say the Steelers will make the playoffs and win a game. 24% says the Steelers will be one and done. And just 5% says the Steelers will win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Mark. You're outnumbered.
Yeah, he might be the only one
He's the
voting for
one,
that.
Yeah. you're but I gotta love the enthusiasm. I gotta
Hell
love
yeah.
the optimism, all the things that you want to have as a Steeler fan, guys, moving forward. And again, Aaron Rodgers, the new Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback. Mason got brought back to be the backup once again. Poor Mason. When people call him a career backup, this is what a career backup is. You just end up being a backup no matter what throughout your career.
In reading like comments from him, he already knew, like, hey, if they sign another quarterback, all I have to do is look at their salary and mine, and I know the pecking order.
Right.
So he knows he's going to be the backup quarterback. And tell you what, Mason Rudolph is not a bad backup quarterback to have.
Mason is such a backup quarterback name as well.
Right.
What starter has a name like
Rudolph? Right.
Rudolph.
That's like a Brady Quinn to me. It's just
like Charlie Batch. Batch was a starter, but he wasn't that good of a. No, it's all about the backup name.
John's saying Derpy Shriner ass will fit my broom closet. Stuff him in the mop bucket. Steelers over enthusiastic. Caleb says Steelers will be 10-7, Super Bowl winner, beat the Chargers in the wild card round.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
A wild card to Super Bowl? We've done that before.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. A lot of interesting takes. I'm glad to get all the interesting feedback, to read the board, to see what people are thinking. Again, I followed up until this point, up until the show this morning, what people are saying on social media, and it's a little bit of everywhere. Again, I would say 50%, 50-50. Some people like, some people don't, but most people are willing to say, hey, well, you know what? It's our team. This is the deal. This is the quarterback. And how could it possibly be any worse than it's been through the last 3 years with the quarterback situation we've had here in Pittsburgh? So at least we should have a chance to be as good as we've been in the past, which again, gets you in the playoffs. Finishes over 500. Tomlin will love that. So, at the end of the day, everybody wins to some degree, I guess, if you're a Steeler fan. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The 2dumbyinzers.com. You know what's over there. The merch store, the dumb thoughts that will be back on Monday, and all of our links, all of our social media. Check it out, especially if you're new here. All at the 2dumbyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumbyinzers.com. All kind of great stuff over there. Go check it out. Guys, it's time for question of the day. Daily trivia. This is a Pittsburgh Steeler, Aaron Rodgers trivia question. Guys, here we go. Put on your thinking caps. Mike and Finch, everybody on the board, everybody at home. Here we go. Who has more playoff wins, Ben Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers? Plain and simple today, guys. No tricks. Straight up, which one of these two quarterbacks has more playoff wins? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week, right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on YouTube. Question of the day, guys. I want to know who has more playoff wins out of these two Hall of Fame quarterbacks? Another Hall of Fame Pittsburgh Steeler going into the quarterback from Pittsburgh going into the Hall of Fame. We're gonna have 4 of them now. Terry, Ben, Russell, and Aaron. Say what you want. We're the new. This feels like today. The way the teams switch guys and ship people around and sell out to win a championship. We're right in it with everybody now, guys. Question of the day. Which guy has more playoff wins in their career? Aaron Rodgers or Big Ben? Mike, what's your thought process on this?
I'm going to go with Big Ben.
Okay. Big Ben, is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, he did win he did go to 3 Super Bowls. Finch, which one of these two future Hall of Fame Steeler quarterbacks has more career playoff wins? Mike's saying Big Ben.
You like to throw a curveball once in a while.
Every once in a while.
I think they have the same amount. I think it's a tie.
Okay. So you're going with tie. That's your final answer?
Yeah, let's go with tie.
All right, I'm gonna give a couple of seconds on the board here. If anybody else wants to participate and answer, and see if you could guess the answer, guys. Who has more playoff wins between Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers? I'll tell you right now, it's close. It's close. Take a minute to think it over. Mark Malone saying Magnum Rudolph, baby. Magnum, he's still Magnum, even though he's not going to get all the same attention that he got 2 days ago before Aaron was here. Mark Malone, he will always be Magnum Rudolph in our hearts. Vegas, have a great weekend, everyone. You too, my man. Always great seeing and hearing from you, Vegas. My guest is longtime pacer Jeff Foster. Caleb says my Jim Palmer poster says Steve Largent, but he's plastered drunk. Corey says I want to say Big Ben by like 1 or 2 games. Big Ben always had to go through the playoffs to the Super Bowl as a wild card, so that's 1 extra game.
True.
So we got some Bens, we got a tie. Nobody's saying Aaron. Interesting, guys. The question of the day: who has more career playoff wins? Big Ben Roethlisberger, who hasn't played in quite a few years now. Aaron Rodgers, the new Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback, guys, by 1, 13-12. Ben Roethlisberger edges out Aaron Rodgers. So let's see if Aaron could break that record this year. Maybe if Aaron gets to the playoffs and wins 2 games, he could pass Ben in a Steeler uniform for yet another record. We might as well just throw Ben's whole 18-year career out here because it's all being overtaken by 1 season rental with a 42-year-old diva. So we'll see, guys. We'll see if he passes Ben. 13-10, Ben Roethlisberger in his career. 12-10, Aaron Rodgers in his career in the playoffs, guys. Do what you want with that. The answer, though, you guys were correct. Big Ben Roethlisberger with 13 playoff wins.
We smart. We smart, Finch. We know what's up.
Well, Finch got it wrong. What are you talking about?
I got it wrong.
Oh, I thought you said Big Ben.
Well, see how smart you are. You don't even know what he said.
It's not that you're dumb, Mike. It's just
right now
I'm
highly doubting that either of you are that smart. But
were you sleeping the whole time?
Right.
I may have pulled a derpy and started snoozing.
I like the way they're kind of looking at each other right now, like they're on the Brady Bunch. Finch kind of looked up at an angle, and Mike looked down. It was like Jen and Marsha for a second. The youngest one with no sleeves. Guys, the poll as of right now, as we're starting to get ready to wrap things up, guys, 38% says that we're going to miss the playoffs this year, which is kind of crazy. I think that's going to change after Aaron Rodgers finally starts settling in a little bit. Maybe he does something in the community and people start to say, well, you know what, maybe. But and here's another thing about that. Is he going to be the guy that Aaron Rodgers was in Pittsburgh? Is he going to do, or I'm sorry, Russell Wilson? Is he going to do things in the community?
I don't see it.
Russell Wilson is still doing things for people in Pittsburgh, which is insane to me. So, but anyway, guys, the poll on that, 38%, Mike, 38% say they're going to miss the playoffs. 33% say they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to win a game. 23% say that they're going to be one and done in the playoffs, Mike, and 4% that number went down throughout the show. 4% Mark Malone. Yeah, Mark Malone was saying
we should just change that one to the Mark Malone answer.
Yeah, it's saying that we're going to win the Super Bowl. So, guys, we're gonna have a blast this year. Again, I hope we win a lot of football games. Yes. That's why I'm in. That's why I care. And but again, there will certainly be many things to talk about. Again, Pittsburgh media, they're going to eat this up. They're very unoriginal and uncreative, and they're just going to talk circles for the next 10 months. And but that's what I'm willing to. I accept that that's what they are. So know that's what you're going to get, especially here in Western Pennsylvania. Mike, we are going to get ready to wrap things up for the weekend, man. Anything going on with you this weekend?
No, I got nothing going on this weekend, other than probably lots and lots of drinking.
It's supposed to cool down a little bit. We're getting rain and things like that, so it's not going to be so.
I put off cutting the grass, thinking like the storm would blow over. So I have like a lot of grass to cut. I have a lot of yard work to do, but I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. So I'll probably do that. A lot of drinking, and then a lot of thinking about Aaron Rodgers because he makes me moist.
Finch, you got the big show tonight, the Gooners.
Yeah, the boys are coming over. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation, and some other things are in store. So it's going to be a good time. They haven't been here for a couple weeks, so it's going to be fun. Hopefully they don't fall asleep like Derpy did on me last week on the show. He's snoring on air. Bastard.
Tell you what, Hollywood Derpy, huh? What's up with him?
What's up with him, man?
He shows up today mid segment, just starts talking over everybody. There's a whole conversation going on.
He's a special boy. That's all there's to say about it. He's a special boy, and we love him.
We do love him.
Yeah.
But yes, that's going on tonight. As for the rest of the weekend, I'm working a lot. I have not, do not have any plans other than to work. So, just, got to do the thing.
Well, make sure you guys, again, tune in tonight, 9:30.
Right here, 9:30.
Three Gooners right here where Finch, Tim, and Ryan will be together talking crazy stuff. Of course, they always got something crazy going on over here, but especially with Aaron Rodgers heading to the Steelers, I know it's going to be interesting tonight because Tim absolutely just does not like Aaron Rodgers. Should be a lot of great topics in time tonight on the Three Gooners. Do not forget to come back tonight right here at 9:30. Mark Kaderpy. Mark Kaderpy, Corey's saying on the board. I like it.
Oh, that is a mashup I do not want to see.
I want to get one, superimpose that idiot's face on Derpy's body. Like that one where he was sleeping in the meeting.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But we do have to give it to him. Like he did announce that Rodgers was going to be here 3 weeks ago. He
said 7 to 10 days,
and that was about a month ago.
24 days later,
and then he went by and said, "Oh, within this week." So in one of his predictions, he got it right.
Eventually, he was going to be right.
You get it right. Hey, that's
hey, Mike, I'm making my prediction. Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl. Steelers are going to be one and done in the playoffs. The Steelers are going to be, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to lose, or they're going to win one. And Mike, the Steelers are. I'm saying it all.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'm wrong. That's how Pittsburgh media works.
Now you are an official member. You're an official member now of the sports media landscape
because I chose everybody, so I can't be wrong.
Yeah, so you just pick up, you just point to a clip. Oh no, I said this. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Corey. If I make that mashup, no one's going to be able to sleep after seeing that picture. Ugh.
I do want to say thank you, guys, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. Today was a big show. It really was. This Aaron Rodgers scoop was big. It's the biggest story in the NFL. No two ways about it. Guys, thank you for coming and hanging out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things rocking here on the show. Love the board. I always say the smartest Pittsburgh Steelers fans are on the board right here on the Two Dumb Yinzers show. No two ways about that. And everybody that's at home watching, in the car, at the gym, at work, wherever you may be, thank you as well. You guys are all appreciated. You really, truly are. So, guys, this be it. This is the day one of the rest of the Steelers season, and it doesn't stop, and it's not going to stop until we're eliminated from the playoffs or we win the Super Bowl. So,
Super Bowl champs, baby.
Super Bowl champs, get ready. I'm going to buy my shirt. I'm already in line at Dick's to get my shirt for the Super Bowl. I'm already there up here. Finch, anything before we wrap it up for the week, man?
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers and tune in tonight. Check out the Gooners.
Tune in tonight.
Mike, before we take off, what you got, man?
The Pittsburgh Aaron Rodgers are marching to a Super Bowl victory, baby.
This is the Pittsburgh Aaron Rodgers season.
Right Aaron Rodgers, baby.
They should put little Aaron Rodgers faces in the 3 stars on the helmet.
or do it like they do in college. Every good play, you get an Aaron Rodgers sticker.
Aaron Rodgers sticker on your helmet.
Fuck yeah,
like Stargell Stars type thing.
Yes, right. Yes. Now
just have a whole line of them just around the back.
Yes.
Instead of the Buckeyes, put the little weed plants, little weed leaves,
little mushrooms,
little ayahuasca,
different colors,
yeah.
Little mortar and
now
pestle.
We're getting into the spirit, boys.
I like it. I like it a lot. You need that shirt sooner, you let me know. Sticky B. What's up, Sticky B?
What up?
What you know about Sticky B? But, guys, I do believe that is everything for us for the week. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out again. A lot of things going on. I can't wait to dive back into it next week. Pirates full series starting against Philadelphia tonight at home. Continuing on their 9-game homestand. Always interesting with Philadelphia when they come to town. The Hounds tomorrow at 7:00. They play Detroit City. The Riveters they'll be back in action on Sunday against Buffalo. and our Pittsburgh Passion looking to go 5-0 at home at Slippery Rock against the DC Divas. That game is at 6 o'clock. Do go check out the gals out because they encourage tailgating up there. Go up, have fun, tailgate a little bit, and go in and watch that's really damn good football team. Again, going for their 5th win, looking to be 5-0. The Pittsburgh Passion, they take on the Divas, who they just beat 2 weeks ago. Will be a pretty good game, but I think our Passion is going to come out on top. Also, Mike, as far as the finals goes, tonight you have the NHL finals. The Panthers are trying to catch up with the Oilers, who are up 1-0 in the Stanley Cup finals. And then in the NBA, a graduate from right here, Chartiers Valley. Chartiers Valley is on the Indiana Pacers team. And so I'm rooting for them. They went up 1-0 with a 111-110 win. I think Mike said they had the lead for about 0.3 seconds of this game yesterday. But the Pacers, they too do take a 1-0 lead. Game 2 will be Sunday at 8 o'clock on that. Guys, again, Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more. I'm sure we're going to hear who he wants to bring in as receivers. I'm sure we're going to hear everything that Aaron Rodgers wants to do, because that's what this season's all about, apparently, is everything that Aaron wants. We might as well give him all the records. We might as well give him Terry Bradshaw's number to wear as well while he's here. You'll hear it all, believe me. Especially if you're on social media, you'll hear a little bit of everything about what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and much, much more. But we, of course, will stay on top of all that, and we'll be back first thing Monday to talk about all that and a lot more. For Finch, check him out tonight, 9:30, right here on the Gooners. My man Mike, great. You too, my man, Sticky B. Nice seeing you, sir. Happy Friday to you as well. Have a great weekend. Mike in the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself, the 2 Dumb Yinzers. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming by. Yes. We'll see everybody first thing Monday morning.